Okay, we need to have a serious conversation. Not a nice one, a serious one. Because I have been watching you fight bosses in Crimson Desert, and I am genuinely concerned for you. Not for Cliff. Cliff is dead, obviously. He's been dead 11 times. He's basically a corpse at this point. I'm concerned for you. The person holding the controller. The person who just rolled directly into a sword swing. Twice. In the same combo. You had options, you had a dodge, you had a parry, you had 30 grilled meat sitting in your inventory that you have apparently decided to save for a special occasion. And here's what really gets me. The boss telegraphed that attack so hard it might as well have sent you a calendar invite. And you just stood there. And then you rolled into it. And then you died. And then you put the controller down and said, "This game is too hard. This boss is broken." Brother, the boss is not broken. The boss did exactly what it was designed to. But here's the thing, the game is also kind of genius. And the reason it's exposing you this badly is because it's demanding something most modern games have completely stopped asking for. It's asking you to actually pay attention, to learn, to adapt. In this video, we're going to fix that problem. And I'm going to turn your boss fights from this into this. Also, you might get roasted here and there.
Pig.
In my experience watching people suffer through Crimson Desert bosses, every player who struggles falls into one of three categories. Type 1, the greedy one. You know exactly who you are. The boss just finished a combo, it's in recovery. You have a clean window, you go in, you get your 2 hits, and then you decide you deserve one more. One more little hit. Just a cheeky third swing because you worked hard and you've earned it. And then the boss, who has been doing this longer than you have been alive, comes back with a counter that takes half your health bar in one input. And you stare at the screen like something unfair just happened to you. Nothing unfair happened. You got greedy, the boss punished greed. This is the entire transaction. Here's what's actually going on mechanically. Every boss in this game has a punish window, a specific number of hits you can safely land before they recover and retaliate. Exceeding that window isn't aggression, it's just being bad at counting. 2 hits is 2 hits. Go in, get them, leave. Repeat. That's the rhythm. That's the whole game. And you keep trying to sneak in a third because you're impatient and it's killing you over and over and over again. Type 2, the panicker. This one is personal because I think this is most of you. The fight starts fine. You are reading attacks, you're doing okay, and then something unexpected happens. A move you haven't seen, a phase transition, a hit that took more health than you expected. And your entire nervous system just declares a state of emergency and you stop playing the game. You start surviving. Pure emotional reactivity. Roll, attack randomly, panic heal in the middle of an attack, roll backwards into the corner, roll back out of the corner, die somewhere between the corner and the middle of the room while the boss watches you with what I can only describe as professional disappointment. The panic roll specifically, I need to talk about the panic roll. This is when you are so scared and so deep in fight or flight that you forget that the roll is a mechanical decision with consequences and you just go. You spin, you roll into walls, you roll off ledges. I have seen someone roll off a cliff mid-boss fight and die to fall damage while the boss just stood there, just watching. The roll is a tool, it has a direction, it has recovery frames, it costs stamina. Every panic roll you do is burning resources you will need in about 10 seconds when the boss starts its next sequence and you discover you have nothing left. Type 3, the denier. This is the person who, after 15 attempts of the same boss, has not changed a single thing about their approach. Same entry point, same attack timing, same 2 swings in the wrong window, same death every single time. And they are not learning, they're just retrying, submitting the same wrong answer and waiting for the test to change. The test is not changing, the boss is fixed, you have to change. The denier also had a subspecies, the hitbox guy. The hitbox guy died because he was in the hitbox. The geometry of the situation is perfectly clear. The visuals match the collision. He was there. And he will spend the next 30 minutes on a Discord explaining that the hitbox was garbage. The hitbox was fine, this is a single player game. You were in it, there is no lag or delay. What? How was I not in? Here's the diagnosis underneath all three types. Modern games have spent 15 years training you to expect instant results. Checkpoint every 3 minutes, difficulty sliders, quest markers, guides that remove all friction before you even had a chance to feel it. And that's fine, those games exist for a reason. But Crimson Desert is not that. Crimson Desert assumes you can figure things out if you actually look. And the moment a game makes that assumption, some players suddenly feel exposed. You are not bad at gaming. Your patience has just been optimized out of you. And we are going to put it right back in. The bosses in this game are designed around something most action games sacrifice for accessibility: weight. Every attack has physical momentum. Wind-ups are loaded, follow-throughs actually follow through. When a boss swings, they commit to it, and so do you when you attack. Which means if your timing is off by half a second, you're not dodging an attack, you're walking into it because your own animation hasn't finished. This is completely different from action games where attacks feel like button confirmations. Press the input, get the result, no friction. The delayed attacks specifically are doing psychological work. The boss winds up, you parry way too early, and you're sitting there like a dumbass getting obliterated. That's not bad luck, that's the boss baiting your most common response and punishing it. The game is modeling your behavior and exploiting it. That is a brilliant design and you need to respect it. And then there's the blue glow, the super armor phase. When a boss lights up blue, they are temporarily invulnerable, not staggerable, and about to do something horrible to your entire bloodline. This is not a suggestion to dodge, this is a mandatory evacuation notice. But watch someone attempt to trade hits through it anyway. Watch them mash R1 into a blue glowing Kerush and wonder why nothing is working while he runs through you. Every signal means something, you're just not reading them yet. Every single boss has a set of normal attacks that can always be parried and countered with the right timing. A red glow attack that can be interrupted by any form of CC like stab, turning slash, nature's palm, and a red flash attack which is their signature devastating attack that cannot be blocked or interrupted, which is indicated by the boss glowing blue when you try to attack it. On hard mode, every boss also has a parry that can block any of your extended attacks and a counter which does a retaliation move if you hit into the counter. It's simple when I put it like this, right? The most important thing is reading the animation before doing anything. When a boss uses a normal string of attacks, every one of those attacks in a string can be parried and countered, but it is preferred to do it on the first one. When a boss does a red glowing attack, if you are standing close to the boss, insta stab or nature's palm will interrupt it. If you are medium range, dodge roll forward into insta stab will interrupt, and if you are standing far away, blinding flash finisher will stun the boss and allow your character to insta dash at the boss. On hard mode, bosses will always try to parry and counter your attacks unless you do short string attacks, or unless you do some sort of interrupt attack like a stab or a nature's palm opening. Holding your heavy attack string for too long will result in a counter parry. But what you are dying to the most is the red flash devastating attack. Some bosses will have a way for you to negate those attacks by using the environment, but most of them you will just need to know how to time your dodge rolls perfectly. For example, Aetor's attack can be completely dodged if you hide behind any pillar. Kerush attack can be negated by hiding behind this wall. And Forgotten General's attack can be dodged by nature's palming in the air and just gliding there until the boss finishes the attack. Slow down, don't rush, wait for the boss to do something, react to it and counter it. So now that you know what to look for, let's talk about what to do with that information. Because seeing the attack coming is only half the equation. The other half is actually having the tools equipped to respond to it. Let's talk about keen senses skill, because this is where most players shoot themselves in the foot before the boss fight even starts. Parry is available from the start. It's sitting there in the spirit tree, keen senses level 1. You have it, and yet a massive percentage of players get to the first harder boss and are just blocking, holding the block button and taking stamina chip damage every hit. Here's the difference: a block absorbs a hit, a parry interrupts it. Get the timing right and the boss staggers, and you now have a 2-second window to do actual damage. At level 2 Keen Sense you get perfect dodge, which is your safety net. The beauty of it is that it's forgiving in a way parry isn't. Hit it too early and you still get a normal dodge. Hit it at the right moment and time slows down, you get full damage immunity and you can chain directly into a follow-up attack. At level 3 you get counter, stricter timing, higher reward. You interrupt the attack and immediately retaliate. High risk, extremely high reward. It is worth learning but not the first thing to chase. But here's the thing you're also not using properly: focus mode. Why did you not max out focus? At level 3 it literally gives you a 100% chance to perfect parry and counter from every angle. You don't even have to look at the boss. On top of that you are in slow motion, meaning you can see the attack pattern the boss is doing in slow motion, giving you enough time to decide if this attack can be parried or you have to dodge roll. And the best part is you're also regenerating spirit, which is needed to deal damage. I understand it's more satisfying to hit a perfect counter at the normal speed, but if you're watching this video, trust me brother, you are not there yet. You're not him, but you will be after you finish watching the entire video and you also subscribe. On the topic of skills you're not using properly, why the fuck are you letting these 3 flying fucks to bully you like this? Max out your nature snare skill, absorb their shit and throw it back at them, dealing damage and filling up a stagger bar. You can use it on ground bosses that throw random crap at you. The game gives you all the tools to beat these with ease, you just need to think. Like, did you even know you can grab these pillars with nature's echo, bonk the boss 2 times and it's dead? Some bosses are that easy. The stagger bar is the other thing everyone ignores until it's too late. The yellow bar under the boss's health, fill it and they're stunned for 4 to 6 seconds. That is your burst window. That's where 50% of the fight's damage comes from if you're playing correctly. Heavy attacks with elemental turning slash build it 3 times faster than anything else. Maxed out nature's echo doubles stagger build up per swing because your shadow also does the stagger. Just watch my latest build guide on how to blow the back of every boss. It's 8 minutes long and linked in the description. I used that build to beat off all 69 bosses on hard mode. So now you've got the tools, you know what the signals look like, now let's talk about the moment of the fight itself, because this is where it either clicks or falls apart. Watch someone who's good at this game fight a boss and the first thing you'll notice is how calm it looks. Not because they're not taking risks, they are, but because they're operating 1 beat ahead. They are not reacting to attacks, they are anticipating them. They've built a mental model of what this boss does and they're running predictions in real time against it. That is pattern recognition, and it doesn't happen on attempt 1, it builds through failure. Every death is a data point if you're paying attention. Every time you eat an attack you learn something. When it comes, how fast it is, how long the recovery window lasts after. Positioning is a thing that separates people who've internalized this from people who haven't. A good player is always angling, always setting up the next exchange while executing the current one. They are aware of space, close range, mid-range, what each distance means for which attacks are in play. They are never accidentally somewhere. And patience, real patience, not passive patience, active patience. That is the skill that ties it all together. Patience to not swing when you're not certain you have the full window. patience to watch a phase transition unfold without walking into it, patience to trust that the punish window is coming and wait for it because forcing it is what kills you. So let me tell you now the story about my first fight against Forgotten General. The Forgotten General fight was by far one of the hardest bosses I had to face on hard mode. When you dissect her attacks, they are simple, easily dodgeable, and all of them can be counter-parried. But those goddamn ghosts that keep charging across the arena are what kills you. After dying way too many times to them, I accidentally found a safe spot. Of course there is a safe spot, why wouldn't there be one? It's right here and it's even marked by this stupid tree. But of course I didn't pay attention to the environment, so I kept dying. While that spot was safe from all angles, I wasn't always close enough or fast enough to position in time. Then I started noticing things. Every time the boss taps the ground with a spear, she summons a few rows of charging ghosts. I noticed that you can dodge roll through them without getting hit, but it was very inconsistent. I needed something better. Then I accidentally used a jumping force palm and I flew straight over them. And once that happened, the whole fight changed. On literally the next try, I beat the boss. When I was close to the save spot, I used the save spot. When I wasn't, I flew over them. All it took was turning my brain on and a little bit of dumb luck. And that's the whole thing really. That's the entire secret. Here's what nobody talks about enough. The reason these fights feel so satisfying when they work isn't luck. It's not a build that carried you. It's not someone else's guide you followed step by step. It's because you built the understanding yourself, across multiple attempts, through actual failure. You figured out a system with real internal logic and then you executed on it. The tension was real, the failure was real, so the payoff is real. You can't fake that with a difficulty slider. Contrast that with a game that walks you through every mechanic, puts a marker on every weakness, lets you brute force past anything with the OP build. You can finish that game, you will feel nothing when you do. Crimson Desert is designed around the assumption that you can learn if you actually try. That's not cruelty, that's respect. It's the game saying the system is fair, the information is there, and you are capable of figuring this out. Most games don't say that anymore. So, final word. Your build matters, the skills matter, knowing when to parry versus when to dodge versus when to eat the hit and heal. All of it matters and we've covered it today. But underneath all of the mechanics, the thing that actually separates players who clear these bosses from players who don't is embarrassingly simple. Stop fighting emotionally. Read the fight, respect the window, trust the pattern. The boss isn't reading your inputs, you are just predictable. Go fix that.